asked me to do a video on track cutters versus wheel cutters. And I'm in a track buncher right now, a Timco. And I'm out in a tamarack swamp. And one difference is, you couldn't be out here with a rubber tired buncher unless it had really wide tires or duals. So that's one big difference. And I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to yell at my phone so Louis McNeely can hear me. But here's another difference. I'm cutting all the little trees because this swamp is infected, and so I gotta cut every tree to kill the dwarf mistletoe. So right here's another one. See that? How that tree was leaning like that? That black spruce? Wouldn't have been able to do that with a rubber tired buncher. So here, let's see, these 3 tamarack are too small. So I'm just gonna reach around them and cut those ones. So yeah, this video, I'm not an expert, it's just my opinion. I do have experience in both, but it's been a long time. It's been 20 years since I ran a rubber tired machine. Well, here, I'll show you another thing you can't do with a rubber tired machine. See that? I'm going to throw those 3 small trees in front of me because it's small, soft in this swamp, and I'll use them to hold me up. This little dead thing right here is a little stronger than I thought. I got to cut this tree. Anything over 4 feet has to be cut. So there's lots of things that, a lot of differences between rubber tired and track machines. I will say this, that rubber tired machines are much less costly on the initial cost and upkeep. Tires are expensive, but undercarriages are very expensive. So they both are, you know, cost money that way, but track machines are just overall, they're more expensive to run. Here, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to lay more unmerchantable trees in front of me to help hold me up. Here's a leaning tree over here, which rubber tired can do as long as they're straight on. There's a badly infected tree there I'm going to take. The other thing is, or another thing, track machines can typically cut steeper hills, especially a machine like this. Oh, here's another thing. Look at that right there. I can line my trees up perfectly off to the side like that. A rubber tire buncher, you'd have to get right in line with that. So this is definitely quicker. I'm going to put down another understory or unmerchantable tamarack there. It's got to be at least 4 inches before a mill will take it. So guys like this one right here, they're big enough. And tamarack is a low value tree, but there's still some value, so it's not my choice to cut it. The forester wants a cut, I'm cutting it. Just doing what he asks. I don't know if the camera is showing it or not, but I'm out on a floating carpet almost, and there's a lot of bounce in the machine. When I get a lot of trees in the head like that, they're starting to get quite a bit of weight out there, and it really bounces on this big sponge of a carpet. I don't know how deep this swamp is. I really don't want to find out, but it would be interesting to take a tree and just shove it down and see where mineral soil is underneath here. Obviously this is somewhere I could not cut in the summertime. It's not frozen real well, but it's frozen good enough, fairly good enough, I'll say that. If it was frozen real good, I wouldn't have to put those small trees in front of me. And I don't have to do it, but it helps, and it'll help the skidder too. We'll most likely have to dual up the skidder in order for him to be able to skid this. That was a dead little snag, and this one, he's not quite merchantable. I'm going to throw him behind me and just use him for support for the skidder. one thing about a track machine is you don't have to drive everywhere. A track machine driving everywhere would really pack this swamp down and it would freeze a lot better. So I guess there is a value there. But a track machine has so many other advantages. The other thing I think track machines do is they make a much nicer drag if you have good operator. Rubber tire operator can do a nice job too. But that one was dead. I should have been able to tell that there was a missing bark on it. So if I just swing around and look how fast them trees are in the drag, look at that. I mean, the butts are almost, well, they're not perfectly even, but they're pretty doggone close, which is hard to do in a rubber tired buncher. There isn't the range of motion that there is on a head like this that has that 4-bar linkage out there. So I'm reaching way off to the side here, and this track is wanting to go down, so I'm just going to slide the head along the swamp and keep it from breaking through. Look at that. The butts are within inches. Here's another thing that a track machine can do. I didn't realize I cut a dead tree and put it in the drag. Just like that. I take it out and throw it. One other thing that a track machine like this, especially with this 360 head, is phenomenal at, and that's picking up blowdown. I picked up a lot of blowdown with a rubber tired shear, and it worked, but this would have been more than twice as fast because you had to get straight on with the trees and tried to reach over the uproots, and when they were frozen in the winter, then you really had a tough time. Where this, I've picked up a fair amount of blowdown with this, and wow, I can do a lot better. So that's another advantage of the track machine with a 360 head. When I say a 360 head here, I'm just going to rotate. So this head, I can stand it right on its head. See that saw? It's completely upside down. But that's a versatile machine. Option, I should say. It's a nice option. It's expensive. Adds a little more weight. And that 360 head isn't quite as powerful as, well, like a 40-degree head that has a cylinder. They'll stand up a tree a lot better than these ones with 2 motors on them. But I like that 360 head, and once you're used to it, I think it'd be really hard to go back. I was going to say something else. Oh, yes, I'm missing my accumulator arm down there. I don't know if you see that. See that right there? Well, let's see, get my finger up here. That accumulator arm, I broke the bungee on that one again, and I don't have a spare with me, and my pickup is a long ways away because our road is not frozen. Ooh, hit a stump. Track machines don't like rocks, driving over rocks. They'll rattle your teeth out every roller in the undercarriage as it drives over it. Wow, it's very rough. Oh, I suppose I better cut this little guy so he can't spread the infection. I see some more over there that hopefully the skidder will run them over and kill them, so stop the dwarf mistletoe infection. It's amazing I can keep cutting with this accumulator arm with the broken rubber band. I just got to pay attention to it a little bit more than I normally would. I have a bunch of unmerchantable tamarack between me and where I want to place my drag, so I'm just going to reach up through them. I'm going to rotate the head off to the side and throw the drag over there, and then I'm going to come back and cut these trees because I have to, and I'll lay them down myself something to drive on. But now that drag is up where I want it, so the rest of these trees that I want to put with them are close. So I can make a bigger, nicer drag for the skidder. Another thing with this type of machine, I can just finesse my way right between them and cut down that balsam without getting it in the head, so it doesn't end up in the drag. One bad thing about a track machine or a boom machine like this is cleaning out all the debris underneath the boom. Maybe other boom style machines are better, but this one is a kind of a pain to clean out underneath the boom between the cab and the engine compartment. A rubber tire machine, I think, is much easier to clean. It has a lot less grease zerks or grease fittings, so there's a lot less greasing. This thing has leveling, so that adds a lot more greasing. A couple other things, there's a lot less ground compaction with a track machine because you're not driving everywhere, and there's a lot less ground pressure with track machines. What else? Oh, if you get stuck, this can help itself out a lot. It can help push itself out or get some weight off to the side, that kind of stuff. I can reach above deer stands and cut trees off above deer stands. I can knock limbs off of trees along roads better, that kind of stuff. There's lots of stuff. So there's other advantages too, like you can reach over stuff if there's an object in your way, like a big rock. You can reach over it and cut a tree where a rubber tire could not. They'd have to try to drive over it. Another bad thing about a rubber tire is if there's a stump right where the tire needs to go, the front tire needs to go, right when you're trying to cut off a tree, that makes it very difficult. Like this right here, I'll butt off this, there's two trees growing together. You can't do this with a rubber tire. Just reach up there, cut it off, bring it back. Oh, I didn't cut off enough, so I'll do it again. Give you another example, look at that. Oh, there's an infected tree, I better cut that. So that's another thing that rubber tire can't do. At least I don't think they can. But this is all just my opinion. Hope you could hear me. Hope you enjoyed that. And disclaimer, it's my opinion. Oh, I've heard another one about how rubber tire can eat a track machine alive in scattered wood. I can tell you this, that I'm not a believer in that either. I can cover some serious ground in scattered wood. I had a couple guys that told me they could run circles around me until they watched me run in scattered wood, and then they never used that argument again. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you had a great day. Hope I stay on top of this swamp.